All right. Next up on the agenda, we're gonna call in the president. You guys can stay and sit because he might need your information too. So, bring your chair over, sir, and come join us. All right. So, welcome, Mr. President. I wanted to know what inspired you to start HLSA Youth Soccer in Hartford, in the Hartford area.
Yeah, so the idea came about in, I would say, around 2017. And I noticed that we had a great need for what I would say, what I would call as structured soccer. We've always had the talent here, as you know, in Hartford area. We've had some of the best talents from your time and and after your time. And I've always noticed that in order for you to develop the right way, you'd have to go to different towns, whether that town being Glastonbury or West Hartford or Simsbury and so on and so forth. So I wanted to create an organization that can provide a platform for kids in the Hartford area, but not just focused on soccer. We also want to focus on the fundamental and on the core of the families, which are the moms, the pops, the uncles, the aunts. So that's why we also offer enrichment seminars to help these families. So whether it's financial literacy, whether it's health and wellness, whether it's home ownership, whether it's mental health, so on and so forth, it's more of a holistic kind of program, and it's not just focusing on soccer.
Awesome, awesome. Very good dream, and actually bring it to life for the community. This is wonderful. A lot of parents who have any kind of idea that, hey, you know what, I want my kids to join HLSA, but I'm not sure how talented or how experienced these people are. So why don't you go ahead and give us some background? And before you do that, let me just say thanks to the University of Hartford for hosting this podcast. And you have a big connection to University of Hartford. You're gonna explain to us now your background in soccer. No, I'm not talking about mine because I'm just a host, but I did play many years ago. Totally out of shape now, but you played for many years. So why don't you go ahead and tell them some of your experiences that you played and what you can and cannot do. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I obviously I played here for 4 years. I was a captain for 2 years, and I had fun here. I had a good career here. After I graduated, I played in MLS for a bit in Chicago. After that, I played overseas. So I played in Romania for a bit. I played in Finland for a bit, and I played in Turkey. So I know the game.
Yeah, and a wide range of experiences playing
Yeah.
in multiple systems, playing in the American system and
Hmm.
playing in the European system in different European countries, does bring a wide range of knowledge to the game, which you can part with the kids. One of the things that, from my limited experience with HLSA, just coming to the Jamboree and seeing the ladies that you have there, how did you handpick these ladies to join up, and how do you convince them to come on board? Because it seems like you have a very good core.
Hmm.
How were you able to get this such a good core together?
Yeah, so for example, Ataya, her son Khalil, who is a very good player. He's you have to see this kid play. He's a very
Mm.
good player. She wasn't originally on the board. She was just signed up just like a regular parent, and she wanted to be involved. And we reached out to her. We had a conversation to make sure that it's a right fit for her and a right fit for us. And we just kind of play it by ear and see what works. And Lataya, for example, she's relatively new, so we're still trying to figure out what works best for everyone. But in terms of having that conversation with the parents and the board members. So for example, Sean, who's not here, he's my VP. He's not here today, so we have to set up a separate show for him. So
Mm.
we'll talk about that
Yeah,
some
of
other
course.
time. But I've known Sean. You have known Sean, a
Hmm.
community guy for years. Good soccer background, good education background too, and a good what I would consider a community person.
Hmm.
So we do try to work with people that we consider to be kind of aligned with our goals and what we're trying to accomplish. So that's pretty much it.
It's awesome. So Latoya, from your standpoint, you bring your kid to HLSA for him to get a soccer education and to get in shape, get fit, leave the video games alone. What about HLSA sold you that you said, you know what, I don't just want to be a parent here, I want to be a part of this?
So for me, for one, it's it started with the communication because I had him playing on another team, and I would miss all the games and or miss training sometimes, or I'll go and there's no training because I missed that communication. So there was not a lot of communication before with the other team, but with HLSA, I got that two-way communication that I was looking for. So I knew where to be when I needed to be
Oh,
there.
okay.
So that started, and then like once we started out, I actually saw how they interact with the kids, and that for me spells a lot because as soon if you're mistreating my child, I'm taking them away. Like no,
Right.
don't, no
Yeah.
joke. So I'm taking them away if you mistreat them. So I looked at that as well, and then when I was approached by Keneal, just seeing if this is something that I'll be interested in. At first, I started out as just the parent liaison,
Hmm.
just walking, talking with the parents. Sometimes we'll get like tickets to go to the ball games. So I'll ask them like, hey, what you doing this afternoon? Just kind of getting a feel,
Hmm.
and so with that, that moved me into the board
Oh,
member,
nice.
eventually taking on more roles. But it's just for me, it was just the communication, the way how they interacted with the kids. As I said, it's not like a session where you're like, okay, my child is not getting it. I'm not seeing any growth.
Right.
I have seen the growth. Especially this year, starting from like spring this year up to now. Like
Hmm.
if you were like following our kids, you'll definitely see that it was like
That's
a
awesome.
major growth. Like when we were whooping other,
Oh
you
wow!
know,
No, we're winning games.
teams.
We're winning
We're
Winning
games.
winning
games,
We're
games.
winning
winning
Sorry,
games.
games.
we're winning
We're winning
games.
games. Winning games.
No,
So, I know you. Do you have a winter session? When you talk to me about the winter session that you have going on, does it started already or is it
not yet,
coming up?
not
Okay, so
yet. So it's coming up.
yeah, give us some dates and times and everything about that.
So the winter session starts December 28th.
Okay.
And where it's going to be on Wednesdays from 5 to 7 p.m. and Sundays from 9 to 11 a.m. It's going to be held at the YMCA in Albany Avenue,
Hmm.
and we're doing it for 8 weeks. It's going to be slightly different than the outdoor session, as you know. I mean, the
Hmm.
space is limited. Indoors is more about working on your touches and playing in small areas and stuff like that.
Right.
So that is something that we're looking forward to. It's absolutely free. Let me say that again. It
Hmm.
is absolutely free for everyone. So sign up all the kids, sign up everyone,
Hmm.
ages 3 to 14.
Um, with the winter session and with the Y being a smaller area, do you have a number of kids you're looking for, and then you'll say, okay, at this point I can't take anymore because of the size of the gym?
There's a number. We haven't made that number public, but there is a number that we're
Okay.
that we're looking at, and so the way we set up the gym, because we have the gym for roughly 2 hours and like 15 minutes. We don't have everyone go at the same time,
Right.
because then that way it would just be chaotic, right?
Hmm.
So we have different age group go at different times. So for example, the ages 3 to 5 maybe may go at 5 to 5:45,
Hmm.
and the 6 to 9 they can probably most likely split the field
Hmm.
because it's a decent sized gym. So if you can split it, and especially if you're not, it's not a game situation per se where it's outdoor where you're preparing for games. So
Right.
you're just mostly working on the ball, working in a small area. So I think we can absolutely, our coaches can get creative with the space.
One of the things that is key to an organization like this, because like I point out in the mission statement, it's a nonprofit organization, and things that a lot of things that's required for HLS to be successful is resources. Um, so, what about sponsorship from any and every entity in and around the Hartford area? How do you guys reach out to them, and who do you have on board so far? Because if there is a sponsor right now, we ought to highlight them so that people know that these people they're buying into your dream and the mission statement.
So one restaurant who has been very, very extremely involved, and Latoya can attest to this too, is Jerk Shack. Jerk Shack is at Parkville Market. They're what I would say our primary sponsor.
Hmm.
And if you look at her shirt, you'll see the big Jerk Shack
Mm.
logo there. Not only that, after the season, after the fall season, we all went there for our families, and we had lunch, and
Oh, okay.
and he provided Sean, who's the owner of Jerk Shack. He's just very helpful. He's
Hmm.
very helpful, and at any moment I could reach out to Sean and say, Sean, listen, I have some kids coming down. Can you put together, whether it's some chicken nuggets or fries or something? And he
Right,
said, give
right.
me no problem, no, I'll take care of them. So he's very, very helpful. Another community partner, or a good friend, I can't remember his name right now. Saga.
Oh,
Um,
yeah, I know.
the vegan restaurant. I
Yeah,
can't remember his name right
I
now.
know.
I apologize.
Sad. No, that's. I'm gonna tell you in a minute. That's,
Yes.
that's my good friend too, and I can't remember his
Yes.
name.
So he's been very instrumental behind the
Yeah,
scenes. From I would say from day one actually. He's been very involved. He was at the Jamboree the
yeah, yeah,
last time.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Fire and Spice.
Fire and Spice.
Fire and
I was
Spice.
about to get it. I
Fire and
told him
Spice.
I've
Fire
known him
and
for many
Spice.
years, many years. 'Cause we
Yes.
used to play together
Yes. So
way back in the day.
he's been very, 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 very helpful
Yeah.
as well. So big ups to Fire and Spice, and to
Jerk
the
Shack.
Jerk Shack.
Yeah, and I know Fire and Spice restaurant's located on Cabell Avenue. Where is our Jerk Shack located?
Jerk Shack is located at the Parkville Market.
Oh, okay.
That's of Capital Ave. Capital
Park
Park
Street.
Park
Park
Street?
Street.
Okay,
Yeah.
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 I know work.
You gotta check it
I
out.
work on prospects. I might have to check it out one of these days, just because they're supporting it. So,
Oh, and
go ahead.
before we move forward, and the city of Hartford too. The city of Hartford
Yep,
has been very, very, very
that's awesome.
helpful. The West Indian Foundation as
Yep.
well. They have helped.
And let's
So
not forget about the University of Hartford for helping us
University of
with
Hartford
this
as
podcast.
always.
This is
Yeah.
University of
wonderful.
Hartford as always.
But so a lot of times people tend to shy away because they think they have to make this big donation in terms of sponsorship. But let's just say you're having a session, say this Wednesday, and somebody wants to say sponsor, just do something. Can they say, hey, you know what? I'm gonna drop off a case of Gatorade, a case of water. This is probably in your department now. Do you communicate this to parents saying, hey, you know what? We're not looking for a $10 million sponsorship. A case of water or Gatorade would be great for the kids.
So what we decided to do is to kind of do like a parent initiative going forward, where we're gonna have like a group of parents come together and kind of like just whatever we're doing. If we're thinking of doing like fundraising activities,
Hmm.
and anything like that, where we can just get any form of small sponsorship, as what you say, it will go a far way for our kids. As you said, like Gatorades, orange and stuff like that. It will definitely go a far way for our kids. So it's definitely something that we're looking into getting done.
Yeah, that's awesome. You want to add something? I thought you were.
Repeat the question again. Sorry.
No, I said it, a lot of times when people hear the word sponsorship, they
Mhm.
tend to believe that they have to make a big donation. But do you guys communicate to prospective sponsors or parents that, hey, you know what, a case of Gatorade once a week is awesome, it's great.
No,
Or a couple bottles of the big bottles of Gatorade would be great for the kids.
absolutely, absolutely. And let me just give you an example. I think we had a game or something in the summer was really hot, so we asked our parents if everyone can bring fruits or water or something. I don't know if you remember that, Latoya. And everyone brought something.
Yeah,
They
that's good.
brought, whether it's a food snack, whether it's oranges, whether it's whatever it may be, water. So it was a good experience. And like you said, you don't have to be a millionaire to make a
No,
donation or a
absolutely.
sponsorship. We're not asking for too much.
Yep.
If you can donate a case of water, if you have a company, you want the opportunity to advertise, and you want to put it, get some T-shirts with your name on, your company's name on it, then by all means.
So this is where I'm going to put you on the spot right now because,
Okay.
yeah, you played here for 4 years. 2 years you captained University of Hartford in Division One, and then you went to play MLS in Chicago for a little while. You went over to Romania. You said you went to Turkey and was it Finland?
Finland, yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'm listening pretty good. But you just did something lately. You just went somewhere lately. Why don't you tell us about that? Because this is added to your soccer experience, where parents can say, "Wow, he's well rounded." Why don't you tell us what you did a couple weeks ago?
What an experience. So I had the opportunity. I was blessed enough to witness a FIFA World Cup in Qatar.
Wow. Amazing.
It was an experience and a half, I tell you.
Yeah.
We were there for what 10, 11 days, and went to like four or five games,
Wow.
and every single game, the atmosphere, it's just electric, electric.
So you have played MLS and you played some European soccer. And what is your take on the level you saw at the World Cup versus like a MLS or like in Romania and Turkey and so on and so forth? Because you saw Brazil play.
Yeah, I went to
Yeah.
Brazil.
Well, what is your take in terms of the level? Is it the same level, or do you think what do you think is a better
No,
level?
I mean it's by far a bigger level, a higher level. And the thing with playing in the World Cup and any level, whether it's Champions League or the World Cup, is when you make the simplest mistake, you will be punished.
Yeah.
It's that simple. You make one simple mistake, you're gonna be punished.
Oh yeah.
So concentration has to be up. You have to focus. It's fun. You're doing what comes natural to you, but believe it, if you make the simplest mistake, you're gonna get punished.
And this is something in where parents can take something from this. Not only the fact that you have been there, you've seen it, you've played in there, but not just in soccer, in life also. You try to minimize the mistakes you make in life because you don't want to be punished. You don't want the punishment to be too hard. But we know on the soccer field, if you make a mistake, that's what your opponent's looking for, and this is what you want to convey to the kids as they're growing up. Say, hey, this is what you want to do. This is how you guys do it. So this is kind of why I put you on the spot there to kind of explain to us. So how many games did you see over there? You said 4 games.
I saw four games.
What are the games that you saw?
I saw the U.S. England game, Argentina, Mexico.
Ooh, you saw the champions.
I
Hate
sure
to say
did.
that, but go
I
ahead.
sure did.
I hate to say, but go ahead.
I saw Spain, Germany.
Oh, that's a good game
Spain,
too.
Germany,
That was a good game.
Brazil, Switzerland.
That was a good game too.
So Brazil,
Oh, so you saw
Switzerland.
some very good
Yeah,
games.
some good games, some
Yeah.
good games, and like I tell you, it was. So if there's 80,000 people inside the stadium, there's probably 80,000 people outside the
Outside.
stadium,
Wow.
just having a good time.
Wow.
It was unbelievable.
Wow. That's amazing. Latoya, did you follow the World Cup at all?
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit?
I'm
What-
here and there.
No? Oh wow.
Here
Yeah.
and
We're
there.
big World Cup fans, so
Uh,
so that's why. That's wonderful
just
though.
here and there.
That's wonderful. I mean, parents want to know that you guys are not just doing this for doing its sake. I know he definitely is big into soccer, and all his life. And as you can see now, this is his way of giving back. And you guys coming on board here is wonderful. Before we wrap up the show, do you want to say anything about like upcoming events or what you want to talk about? Anything else?
So, upcoming events, like I previously mentioned, the winter session starts. Not July. I'm talking about July.
Wish it was July.
I wish it was July, right? Christmas in July.
Yeah, I know.
All right, this December 28th. Practice days are Wednesdays 5 to 7 p.m. and on Sundays 9 to 11 a.m. From ages 3 to 14. Co-ed boys and girls, all are welcome. It's absolutely free. We have to say that again. It's absolutely free for everyone. Feel free to give me a call. My telephone number is 860-922-0225. Again, that's 860-922-0225. Follow us on all social media outlets: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, everything. Where if you see a board member, Latoya or Miss Aisha or Sean or anyone, just reach out to them and you get the information.
Lotta, have you started the registration process already for
Oh
the
yeah,
for the winter?
definitely.
Okay,
Oh yeah,
that's
we
awesome.
started out like what 2 weeks,
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
2 or 3 weeks
Okay,
ago.
good.
Yeah.
And expect to get a good turnout. I
Yeah, we
presume?
definitely do expect.
Yeah, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. All right, you have anything else to add, sir?
So as always, I like to thank you, Mr. DT, for
Yeah.
always being involved and always running with my crazy ideas whenever we have a conversation. Me, we talk behind the scenes all the time just to
yeah.
make sure things in
Yeah.
place. And thank you to Miss Lataya Ba and
Good
Miss
job.
Aisha Smith for being on board. Mr. Sean Buchanan or VP, you'll be here at some point, so we have to
We'll
figure
get
out
him.
the schedule.
Yeah.
But just a huge thank you to the community,
Yeah.
our kids and families.
Yeah, and wrapping up today, I want to once again thank University of Hartford for hosting us over here and a wonderful setup, and help us getting this done. And this is certainly for kids soccer. Thanks for our guests today, Latoya and Aisha and Mr. Keneal. Thank you guys for coming in and having a conversation with us. Going forward, we're going to have more guests and we're going to have the different topics. Just to kind of give everybody a little bit of spice. We have a show coming up with we're gonna probably have a long strenuous discussion about the World Cup. I'm not gonna be too happy, but we're gonna talk about the World Cup and some of the experiences there. You know, we're certainly gonna get Keneal's perspective on it. Since my team didn't win, I'm not happy. I think his did, so he's happy. But it will be fun, and certainly thanks to the ladies for passing all information today. We're certainly going to have them back as we go forward. Again, you want to add something, sir?
No,
No. Okay.
I think that's it.
Again, thanks everyone for being here today, and we're gonna wrap up Lions Talk for another week, and we'll do it again shortly. Everyone have a wonderful evening, and season's greetings to all.
Thank
All right.
you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Yeah, bye.